Okay, I'm so glad you guys got on this call. I feel like it's been a whirlwind of a week already with all the things that we're doing as a team, and you guys are just like we're just lighting so many fires and making so many waves. And I hope that you guys I hope you realize, and I'll say this maybe for a long time until I think you realize, but I hope you realize just the impact that we're making with this. Um, I and I keep trying to, and I'm going to share this a lot too. Like I think, and Kate and I had this conversation yesterday, and I want to kind of start with this conversation that her and I had because I think that maybe other people feel this way. So we had a conversation and she said, she said, I feel like sometimes like I have all this fire and I have all this passion to like share this business, but like I feel like sometimes I maybe don't have the credibility because of X, Y, and Z, right? And I think we've all felt that way, right? Like we don't have credibility to do whatever it is. Therefore, it sometimes holds us back in what we're doing, right? Which isn't fair because it's just basically like we're doing ourselves a disservice because we're not sharing something that is really powerful and amazing, right? And so I want you to know that like there's no amount of anything that you need to have to be qualified to do this and to blow this out of the water and to share this. And Emily Ritzer's on here, and I know she can attest to that simply because she has seen so many women come into this business and just completely blow it out of the water without a following, without a huge network, without whatever it is that you think you need to be successful. And I try to showcase this because my style, and y'all have your own style with whatever you do on social media, my style is to show up authentically as me, but to share just real raw stuff and my heart about where I've been, what I've seen with other companies and businesses, and then bring it to here and show people, right? Because I think the best thing that we can do as humans and as inspiring humans and as fire spreader whatever energy bringers, the best thing we can do is we can share what's working and our perspective about where we are and what we're doing, and we're doing big things here. And like, so my point in saying all of that is I was sharing on my stories today just about like I just can't get over the fact that I didn't know so much of what I didn't know before I shifted into this business. Okay. And I know y'all are getting that too, just because you're seeing like, wow, these products are helping people. As soon as you get one person on the product, you're going to get a great review and you're going to get all these testimonies, right? And what does that do? Like, that builds credibility right there. There's your credibility that you've been looking for. It's right there in the product. The product will sell itself. But if you don't ask the question, and like Emily said today, like get your ask in gear, because it's like, if we're not asking the question, then like we're never going to get the result. And we know that this product will help like 99.9% of people, but it's not going to happen if we don't get really freaking loud about what we're doing. And again, I don't know your style on social media. Like some girls, some of you guys like to do graphics and share like information and different things, which I think is fantastic. I think it's great to come at your social media with different angles, different things, right? Different, like sometimes I just want to talk, and that's usually like 90% of what I do is I just talk and I share it and I try to spit the fire that I think people need to hear. Like I think people need to hear so many things about being successful or about whatever it is. And like today, I just shared about the fact of like, I used to think that like if I wasn't as successful as what I thought I could be, but I was working super hard and I was running my tail into the ground, I used to think, well, then you need to work harder. Cause like obviously she must have worked harder because she's farther, whatever it was. And I had this story in my head that was like sort of like kind of wrong because again, I was in a different business, a different product, a different market. And here we are in this business that is just of like serving and supporting people. And there's never been a better time to holistically serve and support people. And so, I mean, we couldn't ask for a better timing to be in this, and just a better product to be able to heal so many people. So with that being said, again, I hope that your fire is just super lit for what you're doing. And I want you guys to think about who you want your dream team to be. And I want you to think about who, and I think we've said, like, you've probably maybe heard this before, because it's kind of like dream team. Like, I think that's been said many times, but I want you to really truly think about who you want to work with this. Like, y'all, this is wide open. Nobody's done it. Nobody's done this, right? I keep saying this to people. Again, this is something else you can share. Like I keep saying to people, the CBD waters have not been walked on. Therefore, the time is now. And we have so much to share and we have so much work to do, right? To advocate for clean CBD. And so I want you guys to think of the people that you would like to work with, because when we go to a regular job, guess what? You don't get to pick who you work with. Your employer picks who you work with. And sometimes it's not that fun. So you get to choose, right? You get to pick who you work with, and you get to think about, like, wow, like if I could pick anyone, who would I pick, right? And there's so many incredible people that you know that would be good at this, or would be like, they want to utilize this, or maybe you're like, CBD would help them. And I think that they would be really intrigued. Or maybe it's going to be one of your your like 5 PC clients who get started on the products, and then they fall in love and they become an advocate. And do you want to know how many people I've already had order as a PC client and reorder? Like a few. Like, I'm not saying a ton, but like 3 to 5 people have already reordered, right? That's why let's just meet people where they are. Let's get them started on 1 to 2 products. Like, let's not overthink it. Let's just maybe start them with Balance and Restore. That's kind of what I'm sort of gearing towards, again, unless they're like have a chronic, like debilitating anxiety issue and there's other variable factors going on. I pretty much am like, let's go with Balance and Restore, because it's best bang for their buck. They're getting 2 products to try. I explain the flow and balance and how it's going to help their nervous system and keep things in alignment. And then I explain how it's going to help them with restorative sleep. And they're going to get up the next morning, and guess what? It's going to be this amazing, beautiful cycle that they're now in with their nervous system and their body. Okay. Such a beautiful way to support their nervous system. And who doesn't want to do that? So when we start them with that, it's like we start them there. They love it. They feel it. And then what? We might recommend the collagen, or we might recommend the full spectrum. I'm pretty much typically going straight into full spectrum, just because I want them to be able to experience full spectrum. And I think it's so cool that CBD is so customizable for us to like just tweak and play with, and kind of figure out a routine. And that's the best thing that you can tell people too, is like, don't be scared about this. Like, don't be nervous about this. We're going to literally just like play around with it. You can't really mess it up. It's just a matter of like, how are we going to do this, and how are we going to incorporate it into our day? And something to note that I'm thinking about doing, and I haven't told anybody this, but I think it would be really cool for us individually to do this, is I'm thinking about creating a 2-minute video of myself talking to the client that's just purchased their CBD, to where I can just shoot them this video, to where when they get their CBD, because I'm telling everybody like, hey, let me know when you get your CBD and I'll tell you about this, that, and the other, which I understand that wouldn't be customizable, because I'm not like speaking, but I could pretty much give them the rundown of like, okay, if you got Balance and Restore, here's what I want you to do. And, whatever, kind of like a general idea for them to feel comfortable when they get their CBD. So I think I'm going to maybe do that. And then I could just literally upload it to YouTube and just shoot them a link every time. And it will save me 2 minutes of voice clips every time I have a client, because I feel like, let's just work smarter, not harder. So I want you to think about, like, why did you want to join this? Like, that should be the very reason that you don't sell yourself short. Because if you know why you joined, then that's the exact reason that somebody else is going to join. Right? And so are you transferring that in conversations when you're telling people? Like, when I'm talking to people, I'm transferring a lot of excited energy to them about this opportunity, about why they would be amazing at this, or about why they should really look into this, about why the time is now, or whatever. But not asking, like we said earlier, like, get your ask in gear. Not asking is selling yourself short. pretty much, right? So I hope you guys are getting loud. I hope that you're just allowing yourself to just kind of like figure it out. Like, I still am just over here trying to figure it out. I don't feel like I know all the things. I don't know if I'll ever know all the things, but I know enough to know, and each and every one of you on here knows enough to know to help somebody, to support somebody, to offer this product to them, right? So I want to challenge each of you. We're going to get into like the giveaway entries that I'm going to share with you for a giveaway that I want to do this month. But I want to challenge each of you from now until Sunday night. I want to challenge you to get 3 people started on Balance and Restore. Do you know how easy really it would be to get 3 people from now until Sunday on Balance and Restore? If you're having conversations, if you're just going to share authentically and be you, if you're going to maybe give a sample, if you're going to maybe meet somebody for coffee and talk about this, if you're going to share with your warm market and your friends and family, like, it's interesting. My family has never really been interested in a lot about what I'm doing with my business. And that's okay. You know, family can be, I love my family so much. They're amazing and they're super supportive. But sometimes family just doesn't always like, they don't really know what we're doing sometimes. Like, I've just come to the conclusion that like a lot of people just don't really know what I do. And that's okay, right? But I have heard some of my family talk about this more than anything else that I've ever done. And it's really interesting because, again, it's very intriguing to people. People are like, okay, this is interesting. This could help me. Maybe this could serve a big purpose in my life. And if it's helped you, if it's helped me, they know my story, of course. And if it's helped me, then it probably can help them too, right? So transfer what the products are doing for you. And maybe today, tonight, or maybe tomorrow, you're going to highlight one product. Maybe there's one product right now that you're just like, I love this product so much. I can tell a big difference. And if I had to choose one, I would choose this one. And maybe that's what you're going to blow up your stories or talk about. I think this is important because it gives people like a focus, because sometimes if we're just like, Green Compass, CBD, it's amazing, it helps with all the things, like you could do this, you could do that, you could do the other. People are like, what in the actual am I supposed to do? It's like sending someone your link and then being like, here's my link. I want you to look at it. I want you to see if you like anything. But they don't know CBD. And maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't really know CBD. Okay, well, it's okay. Like, but we need to we sort of need to narrow in. And I like to think about the verbiage and the kind of consultation that you're having with that person. Think of it as a consultation. Like, they're telling you what they're struggling with, and you're delivering the system that works for them. You're delivering the products that work for them. And again, Balance and Restore is going to work for everyone. So if all else fails, Balance and Restore, it's the biggest bang for their buck. They get 2 products to try, and then we can see how it goes, and it's going to go great, but we can see how it goes. And then we can be like, you know what? Like, if you want to kind of like add into that and sort of add another piece of the puzzle, like there's more cannabinoids, right? So we can add CBG, or we can add CBN, or we can add, whatever, CBDA. So I want you guys to think about that as you're having conversations, because if we just, it's kind of like a sample. Okay, I want to talk quickly about samples, because this is going to be in our giveaway entry that we're talking about. So let's say you're going to give a sample to someone, okay? But let's say you just give the sample and you're like, they'll let me know, right? They'll let me know if they like it. They'll let me know. It's kind of like sending your link to someone and thinking they'll let you know. Guess what? They probably won't let you know, because that's not how this works. Like, people don't know what to get. People don't know what to choose. Same thing with the sample. Like, do they have an expectation? Like, if they've never tried CBD, maybe they're like, I don't know. Like, it was fine. I mean, I felt good, but like, I don't really know. And so it's our job. Like, the best advice I could give anyone to be successful, and something that I feel like has been monumental in my success, is to be very proactive and persistent about the conversations and the verbiage and how you're talking to people. Because again, if we just lay this conversation and let it sit, it's just going to die, typically, unless they had a great response with that very first initial time of trying the jelly, which they may. but we know that not everybody's the same. And we know it takes some time too for people. So really following up with people, like I'm even following up with someone like that answers a poll on my stories and they wanted information. They clicked it and maybe they did it by accident, right? But a lot of them I don't think do. I think they do it on purpose sometimes, but I'm like following up with them because they're listening to my message and then they're like not responding. And then I'm like, hey, I just wanted to check in. Like, I didn't know if you heard my messages or if you, I know they heard my messages obviously, but if you didn't mean to click the poll or whatever. And they'll be like, yes, I'm sorry, I was busy, blah, blah, blah. So don't think that just because somebody hasn't gotten back to you means that they're not interested. It means that they got busy and they maybe just don't know. Okay. So it's our job as the advocate. And if this is our business and we're going to run it like one, it's our job to close the conversation. And for example, I reached out to a girl today who I know her from Beachbody, and she had wanted information. I gave it to her. She was gonna order Thursday, didn't, or that today's Thursday. I guess she was gonna order yesterday, didn't. I followed up with her. She ignored me. And then today she voted on my poll that she wanted whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I like know her kind of, so I'm like, all right, you're voting on my poll. Like like, what's up, girl? Like, and I can just be pretty direct. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. I've been so busy, blah, blah, blah. My point is that like people will sometimes drag their feet as long as you let them, and that's fine. But I like to think of people in my inbox or in my conversations. Like I got to sift through these conversations and I got to figure out like, who am I going to close and who's ready and who's not ready. And that's okay. But I'm going to put my energy elsewhere, right? And I'm going to follow up with them later, or I'm going to plant new seeds with new conversations. And you're going to get good at that as you go. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, this seems like, just as long as you're having conversations, that's like the majority of it. Okay. So really quickly, I'm going to try to create a graphic of this giveaway so that you guys have this, but you can write this down if you want. And I'm going to try to create a quick, like a simple graphic just so you guys have it. And then I'm going to figure out a way to track this because we don't have a team page yet, which I will do a team page at some point. I just feel like at this moment right now, I want to just keep it in our thread until it gets out of hand a little bit more with more people and advocates, and then we'll go into a team page. I just want to keep things as simple as we can right now. Okay, so I don't know exactly what I'm giving away yet, only because I want to be really intentional with this, and I don't just want to throw out something like, here guys, I'm giving you like this this glass that you don't care or want or need. Okay. I really want to be intentional and choose something that I feel like will just be really fun and really awesome. So I promise that is coming very soon. I haven't decided, and I didn't want to just throw something out there just to pick it. So, okay. The first thing is how you're going to get entered into this drawing is you're going to send the video that Emily did on Tuesday, the opportunity call. And if you don't know what that is and know where that's at, tell your upline or tell me and I'll get it to you. The recording has been posted and it's in our team thread if you just scroll up, but it was just from Tuesday. So if you're going to send this video to 5 people, okay, that's not hard. You're going to send it to 5 people. And the cool thing about this video, and that's one entry, by the way, sending it to 5 people is one entry. There, Emily just posted it. Only because it's really easy to shoot this video to 5 people. And the cool thing about it is not only is it great to talk about the opportunity, it's really great to talk about CBD, and it gives a ton. The first 15 minutes almost, I think, is simply about CBD, and it's very informative. And I love how she educates on CBD. And it's such a great tool that I literally feel like you could utilize for the rest of your Green Compass business. And utilize it all the time. Anyway, I want you to send this to 5 people. Maybe those are people that are fence sitters that are sitting there like they haven't done anything. They wanted information, but you're just like wondering like, what's the holdup here? And you haven't sent them that video. I want you to say, hey, I just wanted to send this to you because I thought you would find it super helpful. It's 20 minutes. Like I'm telling you, if you'll just take 20 minutes and watch it, I think you'll find so much value on like why CBD and why Green Compass is different and why it stands out. Simple, right? And then follow up with them about it to see if they watched it. Emily sent me a follow-up, like she sent me the 2-minute video of Green Compass, like, I don't even know. And she like followed up with me like 3 times. And I'm like, listen, all right. Cause I didn't watch it cause I wasn't interested, but then she followed up and then I watched it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, the next entry is going to be, I want you guys, and you don't have to do this, this is just another way to get an entry, is I want you guys to order sample packs. Okay. You got like 5 with your kit. All right. I highly recommend arming yourself with a couple more packs of the sample packs. Now, like Emily says, I wouldn't give these out like candy because I value my money and I value my time, and I don't really want to just throw these out to people that aren't interested, right? I'm talking people that, like, maybe you have a neighbor that you know has migraines, or you know she has whatever, okay? And you think this would be really valuable, maybe her, right? Maybe you have a really good friend who you're like, I think she would love this. She struggles with anxiety, or this business would be amazing for her. Maybe give her one. So be mindful when you're sending them. But I think that, like, I'm about to order some because I think I have one left. I gave one to my massage therapist, and then I actually sent 3 to a girl that that's kind of a long story. I normally would never send 3 to one person, but this was kind of a rare case. And then I have the one left. So I need to order those. So I'm saying if you order the sample packs, you get an entry. That's number 2. Number 3 is mail samples or give a sample pack to someone. Each sample that you give is an entry. Okay. Really simple. Next one, number 4, is host a pop-up. And I'm going to call a pop-up. Okay. Emily and I had this conversation today. I'm going to call a pop-up something that you intentionally plan. Like, you're literally, I don't care if it's 1 person or 3 people or 2 or 10. Okay. You're being intentional about getting together with someone to talk about CBD or Green Compass. Okay. And each meet up, pop up is an entry. All right. Number 5. Each 3-way chat that you get involved, you get your upline involved in, is an entry. I don't know if you guys know, but the power of a 3-way chat is incredible. Typically it works really well because, I don't know, not that you don't know enough or that you need your upline to help you close something. That's not it at all. It shows another perspective. It does show credibility a little bit too, because you're showing them another person, another perspective, another experience, right? Because we all have different experiences with why we came into the business and why we choose CBD and whatever it is. So each 3-way chat will get you an entry. Okay. You can put your upline, you can put your upline's upline, like, I don't care, anybody in there, just to kind of add, and it shows community too. So I think that's awesome. And then the very last one is, I want, if you guys from now until the 31st of August get a 5 and 2, and I know some of you have already gotten a 5 and 2 this month, and I'm so proud of you and you're amazing, but it starts now. So get a 5 and 2, and that's 7 entries. You're getting an entry for each thing. Okay. 5 plus 2, 7. Get a 5 and 2, 5 PC clients and 2 advocates under you. That's 7 entries. And if you can get a 5 and 2, or you have already got one, or you're on your way to get one, it's literally duplicating that over and over and over again. That's this business, and that's what's going to grow. Because I can already see it now. I can already see people are getting the products. We know the product retention is great. We know that, like, data shows it's 73%. I tell people that when I'm talking to them about the opportunity too, because I think it's important for people to know that, like, the retention's really good, because I've been with a company before and the retention wasn't. It was like probably 25%. And that's not very great when you're trying to get, monthly sales, or you're trying to just keep people involved with the products, right? All right. So if you have questions about that, let me know. I think I went over all of that. And what else? And I know every single person can get to team leader this month too, if you haven't already. And again, team leader is 2 people that literally just want to get involved with this. They just see it for what it is, or see the potential, or see the opportunity. And where's that going to come from? How are they going to see the opportunity or the potential? It's going to come from you and your perspective, right? Or you sharing you getting your upline involved and being like, okay, listen, you're excited about it, but maybe you want your upline to like lay it out. And I'm all about laying it out. So I'll be happy to like try to spit fire for you, to share with you, to just bring energy basically to what we're doing here. And to just get more people involved. I think as many people as we can get in front of with this, it's people are really open to it. Like that's all I know as I've started with this is people are so open to the idea of utilizing these products. And Kate and I have talked about this, but it's like I don't live in a town. I know we're all from different areas, but I don't live in a town that is super or in an area that is super open-minded or always holistically minded or organic or like sometimes it's just not that mindset where I live, but people have been so responsive to these products because again I think people are just really coming around to wanting a different approach to feeling bad. um okay, so that's all I have. I'll get you that graphic all set up for you so that you have that so you can kind of look at that and I'll let you know what I'm going to be raffling off and giving away too. Um, okay. Does anyone have anything that they want to ask? That went a hair longer than I thought. So I appreciate you guys being on here. I'm looking through the chat here. Yes, I agree. And creating the cart obviously is such a smart thing when you create the cart for the person because I think that they just are like, okay, that's perfect or that's it. That's what I'll get because they trust you. And I think that's the other thing. People just need your recommendation because people are like people have a hard time making decisions if you didn't know that. Like I I have a lot of friends who will be like, we've had this conversation before where they're like, I struggle to make a decision in the grocery store. Like, I'm like, I can't make a decision on like which, like, whatever to get. And some people just get overwhelmed easy. And it's just, I get it because it's a lot of things and it's kind of foreign to a lot of people and to us still some because we're learning. Okay. What do you recommend moving forward after I've talked Green Compass with them and they say they're intrigued and want to do more research? Yeah. Okay. So this one's interesting because this is, I think, what I said last week, maybe, but like I said, it's just a couple of you, I don't remember who, but um, it's hard because it's like, okay, you're gonna do research when you like that's fine, like do all your research, right? But how would you research? Like if I'm researching CBD, but I have no idea what the first thing about CBD or where or what or how it's extracted or how it's grown or what carrier oil or whatever, I wouldn't know what to research. So it's interesting when they say that. So I feel like the best thing you could do, I think, Caitlin, if you haven't already, is like send them one of the 20-minute videos. Like the one from this week, if you haven't already, because um that is going to be the best, most effective information I think that they could gain. Um, period. Now there's other information in boards, by the way, too. Like I want you guys to like feel free to always refer back to boards. Just because there are some older, not old, but there's one from Marlies that I've actually sent to a few people too. That's in boards that she did in July, I believe. So it's not very old. Find the video that you feel like speaks volume to you and utilize that because I sent the TED Talk and some of Emily's reels on Instagram breastfeeding such. Okay, that's awesome. And I think it's one of those things we have to be patient at the same time with this because people aren't going to like again, this is kind of new territory. People aren't just going to be like some people are. Some people are going to be like, yeah, I've seen enough and I'm ready and I want this and this is really awesome. But some people aren't and they're going to drag their feet because they just aren't sure. So I think the best thing like you can do, Caitlin, is just keep showing up and sharing testimonies from other people, sharing your own testimonies, like sharing education behind CBD, behind like Green Compass. And like people will eventually they'll get to the point where they're like, all right, I've seen enough and I'm ready to try it. So hang in there. That one's a hard one though too, because you're like, I've given you the information and like I'm here to help you research, but what more can I give you? And I've ran into that wall too before. And at the end of the day, it's just like it's kind of on them at that point. They just need to make the decision. Um, yeah, exactly. I think so. It could be the first time. It's just new. So be patient because I think that's a challenge we're all gonna face a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. Anything else like verbiage, anything else you guys feel like you need help with? I think on stories and stuff, I think just like be creative and keep just thinking about different pain points or different you know, I don't know, different things that intrigued you about Green Compass. Like I think of a couple of reasons, like a few reasons why I joined Green Compass. Like I can think of probably more than 3 to 5 reasons, but I like to share that with people as I'm talking to them because if that was really awesome and powerful information for me, then wouldn't that be powerful information for them, right? So transfer that. Go ahead, Rach.
Can you just, I didn't type it fast enough, but I just like the way that you worded it. When you were talking about the first entry, sending Emily's video, just like the inviting to watch the video. Can you kind of share again how, like, what you would say to invite someone to watch that video?
I might just say like, "Hey, I just thought of you because of our conversation the other day about CBD. There's the first 15, it's only 20 minutes long, and the first 15 minutes has some really valuable information and education behind CBD, why Green Compass, why it stands out."
Okay.
And then I might like kind of rewinding back. I might say at the end, like it's only 20 minutes. And like I really think you're gonna find a lot of clarity and you know, information in this short video on how this like
Cool.
how this product could help you so much, something like that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been utilizing those a lot because I feel like, again, they're gonna watch it and they might not purchase. They might not purchase this week. They might not purchase next week. But the beauty of this is you continue sharing and showing up and you continue dropping these crumbs, right? And you guys have some of you have kids that you're using these products on. Some of you some of the moms in this, in our team like are breastfeeding. Like there's so many angles and things, and as we continue to grow within our own CBD journey and share, gosh, like the video like might not, come to fruition yet, but it will.
It's nice to have those too because it makes you feel like you don't have to reinvent the wheel,
Yes.
especially when you're just starting out like all of us are and we don't know all the things about CBD. So instead of trying to like spew it out like we know what we're talking about, we can just send this video that's like already been created for us to send out to people.
I love it. I agree. I think it takes the pressure off. And, with like Emily and other advocates who have been doing this longer, like I don't feel like personally I have like the what's the word? Like it is just not as beautifully said as what she did as she explained and effortlessly what looks like effortlessly explained this in Green Compass. And I just think it's like you said, why reinvent the wheel when you could point to it's a system. The video is a system. You point to the system and you send it to them and you let that kind of marinade for them and then follow up. All right, you guys. I'll get you the graphic of the giveaway and please let me know if you have any other questions and I'll get this recording posted. And I really appreciate your time, you guys, and getting on here. And I hope this was super helpful. Good night.